Let's talk Tanya for the 3rd of Kislev. In yesterday's Tanya, we explained how the purpose of Torah and mitzvahs is to bring light into the world of Atzilus. And ultimately, that light comes down over here, filters down over here, because the purpose of everything is to make our world a holy place, but the direct impact of our Torah and mitzvahs is an infusion of divine energy into the world of Atzilus. And in the Zohar, when it talks about it, it says that we bring it into the 10 attributes of the world of Atzilus. And as we've mentioned in the past, in Kunter Sachrin, Dr. Rebbe is looking to resolve different places in Kabbalah which have seemingly contradictory messages. So here also, in the Zohar that we just cited, it says how it talks about how mitzvahs are connected to the 10 spheres, the 10 attributes of Atzilus, and specifically the 248 limbs of the attributes of Atzilus. That's why the 248 mitzvahs. Elsewhere in the Zohar, it talks about how the mitzvahs are associated with chesed and gevura. That the positive mitzvahs, when Hashem says to do something, that comes from the hei chesadim, the 5 elements of chesed, of Hashem's kindness. And the negative mitzvahs, the mitzvahs leisasa, they are rooted in the hei gevurais, which is the 5 aspects of God's gevura, or God's severity, which is different. So there we say the mitzvahs are connected to the kindness and severity, as opposed to all of the 10 sephiros, all the 10 attributes. Yet in another place in Kabbalah, it talks about the mitzvahs being associated with the single path, the single road, which ultimately divides into 613 roads. And that single road is known as lavnunis, the whiteness. And that is because it is the single road which is even higher than the world of Atzilus. And because it is simple, it doesn't contain multiple attributes. It is like the color white, which is a simple color. So which is it? Are mitzvahs associated with all the 10 spheres? Are they associated specifically with chesed and gevura? Are they even higher than the world of Atzilus in this singular road? And Dr. Rebbe says the answer is all of the above. The purpose of mitzvahs is the 10 spheres, the 248 limbs within the 10 spheres, and to bring light into the world of Atzilus. However, where do mitzvahs originate? Mitzvahs originate in God's desire and God's pleasure. That is the single road, which is above and beyond the world of Atzilus. From there, it filters down into the chesed and the gevura, which means that God's kindness, and because of that, he wants and he feels close to certain actions and certain behaviors. And because of God's severities, he distances other behaviors. And ultimately from there, it branches out into all the 248 limbs of the 10 spheres of Atzilus, purpose being to bring light into the world of Atzilus. Now, although we spoke yesterday about the greatness of davening, and how in davening we elicit an infinite light of God that comes down over here into this world, and actually transforms and changes our reality. We daven for a person to become well, and when the person becomes well, that is actually a manifestation of the divine light here in this world. But nevertheless, there's also an advantage to mitzvahs, because when the person becomes well, or when it rains on the field and the field suddenly it's filled with wheat and it's growing, that person doesn't become a holy person because of it. The field doesn't become a holy field because of it. The purpose of mitzvahs is, yes, the light doesn't come direct. It comes through the world of Atzilus, through the channels, but ultimately it has an impact on this world. This world becomes a holier place, which at the end of the day, that's the purpose of everything, is making the world into a holier place. Which is why Moshe Rabbeinu, as he's about to die, he was desperate. He really wanted to go into the land of Israel. And the Talmud asked, why? Why did he want to go into Israel? Is it because he wanted to have some of the fruit from the land? Is that what he was missing out on? And the answer is obviously no. The Talmud says there are many mitzvahs that are associated with the land. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu wanted. Moshe Rabbeinu in the desert, he was able to study Torah, he was able to daven, but he realized there's something special about doing mitzvahs, because that's how we effect the sanctification of our world, which is the purpose of everything. In tomorrow's Tanya, we'll continue our conversation about the great value of action mitzvahs.